Gauranga bolite hobe pulaka sharir Hari Hari bolite nayone babene Gauranga bolite hobe pulaka sharir Hari Hari bolite nayone babene Ar kbe nitai chande karuna hoibe Sangsara bashana mora kbe tuchha hobe Ar kbe nitai chande karuna hoibe Sangsara bashana mora kabe tuchha hobe Vishaya chariya kabe shuddha hobe man Kabe ham herabo Shri Vrindavan Vishaya chariya kabe shuddha hobe man Tabe ham herabo Shri Vrindavan Rupa Raghunatha pade hoibe akuti Tabe ham bujbo se Jugala piriti Rupa Raghunatha pade hoibe akuti Tabe ham bujbo se Jugala piriti Rupa Raghunatha pade Rahumor ash Artana karoye sada Narottama Raghunatha pade Rahumor ash Prarthana karoye sada Narottama Gauranga bolite hobe pulaka sharir Hari Hari bolite nayone babene bolite hobe pulaka sharir Hari Hari bolite nayone babene Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaura Premanande, Hare 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 Bo. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Shrishtam Manum Api Shaktiputra Matra Swarupam Rupam Tasya Argajam Urupurim Mahaturim Goshtabhatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripa Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Ataf Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now I'm going to talk about coronavirus and worse things to come. Corona madness and worse things to come. Why madness? Why do we say corona madness? Well, the whole world seems so strange and so confusing, and when there's a very confusing situation, when I say it's like madness, the whole phenomenon of the worldwide pandemic or non-pandemic or whatever you want to call it is giving rise to many strange ideas, some of them bordering on madness, and some people are literally going mad in the lockdown, suffering from great stress, especially medical stuff. They're not locked down, but they're nervous breakdowns. What is that? PT, post-traumatic distress syndrome. That's it. PTD. It's easy. Yeah, they're really, really suffering from seeing so many people all at once confronted with a disease, which in many cases they're not able to stop the deaths, and it's distressing even to medical staff. So some people are going nuts. And on top of that, the whole world situation is highly stressed, highly tense, even apart from the corona madness. The level, the pitch of madness in the world is increasing. What is going on? Well, who am I to say? I'm not a scientist or a doctor or a political analyst, but by spiritual science, I should be able to describe the big picture. By spiritual knowledge, one is supposed to know everything. Not that I know who the ant crawling up my back was in a previous life. I may not know everything, but we should be able to get the big picture. That's the point. We should be able to comment on the big picture. So, what is the big picture? The big picture is, I'm smiling, but nothing much to smile about. Expect worse. Karma is kicking in. We can't go on exploiting Mother Nature indefinitely without a backlash. The mother is very kind, but if the children are very bad repeatedly, she may punish them for their misbehavior, to try and get them in line. Mother Nature's had enough. We've poisoned the air, poisoned the seas and rivers and lakes, cut down the forests, destroyed so many species of life, ravaged the earth, even within the earth's creatures. Now, karma is kicking in. Nature, we can say. Nature, it's not working simply some kind of imagined effect of random evolutionary forces. Mother Earth, Mother Nature, she's had enough. And don't think that vaccines will bring us back to normalcy. What do you think? Normalcy means the normal exploitation of the earth. What a speaker, I'm saying about killing so many animals, or how human beings are treating each other. Normalcy? You really want to go back to normalcy? Were we happy before? We're thinking, oh, it was so great before. We could go outside our houses and we could do what we like, but were people happy before? No. So even if the vaccines bring us back to so-called normalcy, what is that normalcy really something that we should relish? If we weren't so damn busy watching our stupid Netflix and so many stupid things, we might just settle down during the lockdown and start thinking a bit more deeply about why is my life such a mess? And don't pretend it isn't. We're living, like I can say, poisoned air, poisoned water, poisoned minds. And we think everything's okay, everything's nice. It's just a big illusion if we think that what we call normalcy is normalcy. Now normal is abnormal, but even previously what we called normal was abnormal. People shouldn't live in such a way, being so cruel to speak to people, cruel to each other, for profit. The weapons are sold for killing others. Weapons are developed. Pharmaceutical companies are falling over each other, falling backwards over each other, trying to get their vaccine out for profit. Great! Pandemic! Oh! How many billions of dollars are we going to make out of this? This is not normal. This is demoniac, to be frank. What kind of society are we living in? Torturing and killing billions of creatures. There must be a karmic backlash. It's underway. Actually, it's always underway. Either disease or lockdowns. The karmic backlash is always underway. At the present time, karma is kicking in. Karma is kicking in. Disease, lockdowns, government control. We're very afraid the government's going to control us more and more and more. Take away our freedom. Then a backlash to that, rebellions, economic collapse, wars. When there's too much problem, ask Nikolai Machiavelli. Too much problem on the domestic sphere, make a war outside. Blame it all on those. It's those other guys. It's all their problem. Kill them. So wars. You ain't seen nothing yet, mate. Imitation Cockney slang. Translation, there's worse to come. I don't have a crystal ball. There may be people who can see the future very well. But even without a crystal ball or being an expert astrologer, we can confidently say, sadly, but confidently, things are going to get worse. Maybe the vaccines will so-called normalize the situation. We'll stabilize back into normal madness. And we can forget all about Corona and just go on with life in our usual way. But no one can avoid karmic reactions. Whether from time to time there is wars, pestilence, famines, massive mass karmic reactions. But if we don't get it on a massive scale all at once, hellish suffering awaits us all. If it's not this disease, it's another disease. So much suffering. We can't avoid suffering. This is the material world. It's not nice. Wake up to it. You can take intoxications and just pretend everything's nice. It's not a nice place. We've been through innumerable cycles of suffering. Birth after birth after birth. Why don't we realize this? People don't even want to believe in rebirth, or if they're nominally Hindus or Buddhists or Jains and the Sikhs, and they nominally believe in rebirth, but they act as if it's not going to happen. Foolishly. Utishtata, Jagrata, Prapya, Varang Nibodhata. The Upanishads enjoin us. Just get up, wake up. Become aware. We got the human life. We're not meant to live like animals, simply eating, sleeping, having sex, fighting with each other in petty, trivial, fighting over petty, trivial matters, trivializing everything. We're not thinking. We all have to die. We all have to suffer. We should... I'm saying I should know everything by spiritual science. We should all learn the spiritual science of what is actual reality. It's not, I'm saying, I know everything. It's not, I'm not no Einstein. It's just a matter of applying our intelligence in the right way. Trying to understand. It's not how we can eat better, sleep better, and forget all the problems of life. But the real problem of life is that life in this material world is a problem. Corona problem, this problem, pandemic problem, lockdown problem, government problem, war problem. It's full of problems. Therefore we should look higher. Utishtata, Jagrata, look up. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashanti Suryayoho. Look up to the spiritual world. Actually, coronavirus, I'm giving several talks on this. It's not really my topic. I'm not particularly interested in what are the causes, what will be the outcomes. Well, you may say I will be interested if I get it. But yeah, if I get it, I'll get it, and it will go. Either it'll go by this body dying, or I'll pass through it, and then the body will die later. But there are more important things to talk about than coronavirus. Coronavirus is a very negative kind of thing, but it's a reality. We can't say it's not there. It's a reality. It's affecting the world in ways which we didn't imagine. And it's all negative. There's nothing much good to say about it. Well, maybe the earth is breathing a big sigh of relief that the pollution levels have come down somewhat, at least in the beginning of all this. But there is a higher reality beyond that we should look up to. We'll all be dead sooner or later from coronavirus or whatever, slipping on a banana's skin and smashing our skulls. It doesn't happen very often, but just dying an insignificant and death to end our insignificant and meaningless lives. One way or other, we're all going to die. We're all going to be dead, but we all live forever. This is spiritual knowledge that we learn from Bhagavad Gita. The coronavirus, it's one thing. The one thing in one lifetime that we're experiencing. We're all eternal living beings. Coronavirus, what is it? It's a collection of chemicals that infiltrate the larger body of chemicals that we call the human body and cause distress within that body. But here's a great secret. You and I, we are not chemicals. We are spiritual living beings. No chemical can affect us. Adayo yam achejo yam. There's nothing can dry the body. Nothing can dry out the soul. Sorry, nothing can burn the soul. Nothing can drown the soul. We're beyond. We are intrinsically beyond coronavirus and all other manifestations of the material world. So corona madness, yeah, we can expect worse to come in the world situation. And even if worse doesn't come, it's bad enough. But that's not really important. What is really important is to see beyond our present spot life. We're here for a second, we're gone. Just a second in time. Just a blip. So it's really important to understand who we are. We're eternal living beings. Actually, we all have an eternal, loving, sweet, blissful relationship with Krishna, the eternally great, beautiful, sweet personality of Godhead. Unfortunately, people aren't interested in these things. If I talk about coronavirus, more people will be interested in listening than if I talk about Krishna. I regularly give talks about Krishna, Vishnu Sahasranama, just Krishna, 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 beginning to end. Who is Krishna? Who is that loving person who our heart longs for? Not the heart chemicals, but our soul longs for. Unfortunately, people aren't interested. So I'm talking about coronavirus, just to try to attract people's attention. Of course, who am I? It's a big world, and there are people playing guitar. They get much more attention by entertainment. So we don't get much attention. I'm trying to get your attention, not on me, but on Krishna. I have important things to say, which I've learned from my spiritual master, who came from Krishna to teach us that we don't belong here. We have to go to Krishna. So worse things to come, yeah, as long as we're stuck on the chemical platform, biology platform, mundane platform of identifying with this world of chemicals, we're going to have to suffer. But when we realize, I have nothing to do with this world, I belong in the land of bliss, I am eternally linked with Krishna in pure love, then we leave behind this land of chemicals. No virus can attack us. And it just becomes, we leave this world and we go to the spiritual world, and it's just like waking up from a bad dream. So, who's going to listen? Most people won't listen, and unfortunately, worse is to come for everyone in material existence. But those of you who may take this seriously, I can request you to please take up the process of spiritual advancement seriously. I don't mean all this meditating and imagining that you're one with God nonsense. No, you're not God. We're just controlled little beings. Or some idea, mindfulness, become very mindful and then become very egoistic. You see, I'm very mindful, I'm better than others. Imagining we're one with God. But just understand our position of eternal, loving subservience to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Take the time, read Bhagavad Gita as it is, the compendium, or the introductory book of actual spiritual knowledge, and realize that beyond this material situation, there is the blissful spiritual situation. Now in the world, we're very concerned about coronavirus. 5,000 years ago, the world was very concerned about the Battle of Kurukshetra. It was a world war, which it finished in 18 days, but soldiers from all different parts of the world, at least the massive area that was under the area of India and surrounding that area, soldiers assembled. They had a huge battle, which who knows about that now? It's past. Right now, as I'm talking, there's a massive constitutional crisis in the United States of America, with the booted out president not wanting to go. It's a very tense situation. It'll be forgotten. Everything is forgotten. All things must pass in this world, including our situation in the present body. It'll all pass, it'll all go. But link up with Krishna, our eternal spiritual situation. Krishna, God, chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names. Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Don't be so mad as to be fixated on this corona threat. It's a real threat here. It's real, but in another sense, nothing in this world is real, because it's all temporary. It's like the images in a kaleidoscope, which always changes. Always very fascinating to look at, but always changing. And in that sense, not real. So look beyond the kaleidoscope. Look up, 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 up. And if we look far enough, and if our vision is clear, we can see to the lotus feet of Krishna, which is where we belong. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo Dante nitaya chanakam padiyo nipatya kridva chakakushatame tataham ravimi he sadhava sakaleva vihaya durat Gauranga Chandra Charane Kuruta